Welcome back to Cars with Casey. I'm so glad you're here. So this week we got way out of my comfort zone and I drove a car for the first time since 2011. I have driven an SUV since then, a lot of them, but I have been in an SUV, some big, some small, but have not driven a car since before my kids were born. So I loved driving this car this week. It would be an awesome commuter vehicle if I were to drive back and forth to Huntsville or have to commute for my job. I would definitely want a car, and the Toyota Camry was amazing. I think it looks great. These are have a great price point. Most here on the lot, just looking through the website, most of them have low mileage and great price. And there were several different colors: silver, white, black. There was all different things. So we drove a silver one, and it has this black grille, which if you followed along at all, you know I love the black accent on some vehicles. I think the headlights are really sporty looking, and I love that the wheels have the black, but they look really good with the silver. So I'm a big wheels girl. I always check out the wheels on any vehicle. But we have enjoyed driving this. Great commuter vehicle, great teenage vehicle. It does have plenty of room in the back, and I'll show you in just a second. But it was easy to drive, and if you've been driving an SUV for some time and you get in a car, this thing will zip right around. So now that we're on the inside, I love the seats. I like the detail. I don't know if you can see. So it's like leather here, and then it's like this striped. I don't know. I just like that. I like the way it looks. The seats are comfortable. I'm used to driving an SUV, so driving a car was very different for me. But I've enjoyed driving it. Honestly, the gas mileage is out of this world. We live a little bit out of town, about 12 miles, and it got great gas mileage. I drove it for a full week, taking my kids in and out, and the gas mileage was great. So let's take a look around up here at the front in the dash and see what all we see. Okay, so the steering wheel, like most, I have found on all the different vehicles, they all have some buttons. Pretty much most of them are the same. Of course, we have your volume controls, your phone. This is a back button, your voice controls, and then these buttons control your dash and what you see. I like to see how fast I'm going, but I also have been really watching the gas mileage. So on just this trip, it got 27 miles per gallon, but my average is 32.4, which is outstanding, especially if you drive an SUV like me. That's almost, it's just amazing. Okay, so then we have our mode. This will change what you're listening to, whether it will toggle between AM, FM, Sirius. Your phone, it does have Apple CarPlay, so it will toggle between those. Your seat track buttons are here, lane assist, and then of course this is your collision alert, and then these are your buttons to control your cruise control. So, and on the back there are paddle shifters. This does go into sports mode, and there are paddle shifters. If you can see this one on this side. Easy to do. Actually, drove it both ways just to test it out. The door panel is easy. Not a lot going on. You have your window controls, which you can just push all the way down. They're automatic, goes straight down. You don't have to hold it down. Then we have the window lock, and then lock and unlock the car doors. And this is for your mirror. You would turn it to the left for your driver's side, and then you just use this little knob to fix your mirror. And then of course for the passenger side, you would turn it to the right. It's pretty basic and easy to read, easy to figure out. There is some storage down at the bottom, not a ton. You can keep a water bottle. You would definitely want something with a lid because it's slanted right here. I always keep an umbrella and some napkins, and those would both fit in there perfect. There are a few buttons to the left of the steering wheel by the door. You have your automatic lights, traction control to open your trunk, and to open the gas to pump gas. You just hold these down and both will open. Moving to the radio, so you have your home button. I love on the home screen that you can see the distance you can go left on your gas range, because I like the digital miles per hour in the dash, and you can leave this on the home screen and see how far you can go on that tank of gas. I like that. You have your menu button, your audio, different audio, AM, FM radio, Sirius, Bluetooth, and it does have Apple CarPlay, but you have to plug your USB in, which is not an issue. Maps, and this is your power and volume button. Over here we have your seek and track. Phone, it does have phone connection. I actually did hook up my phone to this. Easy to do. All you have to do is pair them. It's super easy. You just press here, and then there's a yes button, and it'll tell you exactly what to do. And then there's an apps button, and it does have Wi-Fi capability. Plus, then you have your scroll knob on this side. Down here, let's get it back to the home screen. Down here, we have your air controls, defrost, front and back. Of course, you're off, fan speeds, where your air is going to blow out, AC, and then you do have dual climate controls. I prefer them to be synced, but you do have that option. Both the passenger and the driver can control their own temperature. Down here we have a USB, just one under there, and then a 12 volt. I always love a good hidden compartment, and this pushes open, and you can push it back and it'll stay open. And there's a nice little area down there that you can store stuff and then close it shut to hide your junk. I'm sad because I forgot my big water bottle today. We do have two small, but my 40-ounce water bottle fits great in this. So I had a 40-ounce water bottle, plus I had a huge styrofoam cup that fit perfectly in here too. So good cup holders in the front. Of course, you have your gear shift, and then eco mode, normal mode, and sport mode, which you can use the paddle controls for sport mode. Inside, the console is actually pretty roomy. It does have two ports right here. We have a USB and a USB-C in here that you can use to charge. Just an idea of how big the console is. For a car, I feel like you have a pretty good bit of room. Pretty impressive. In the back of the Camry, plenty of room. I have two kids. They rode back here comfortably. This seat is set for me. I'm 5'6". I have plenty of space right here. The seats are comfortable. This is the only cup holders, which is in the armrest. It does fold up and down, but you can keep a bottle in the side. It's just slanted, and you would definitely want something with a lid over here. I do wish that these were maybe here or in the door, just because this can go up and down, or if you had someone that was sitting in the middle. But they've worked fine. They hold a water bottle, they hold a cup. They've been great. One thing, I was actually talking with a friend, and she said every car manufacturer needs to get on board with this. So on both outboard seats, there are lower anchors. And if you've ever tried to put a car seat in with the latch system, you know that sometimes you're having to dig around and find where to latch it. But these just pop off, and there's your latch. All you have to do is now clip it in and just store these. Another vehicle I had these when I actually had car seats, and I would just store them in the back of the seat right here. And then when you're not using, they just pop right back on, just like that. So that is a huge plus if you have car seats. And then there's 3 tether anchors on each seat. So 2 lower anchors on the outboard seats and 3 tether anchors on the back. And I just love the detail of these seats. I think it makes it look sportier. We've enjoyed it. There's plenty of room, and there's a little cubby hole here for stuff if your kids have. My kids have actually used it as a trash can, but I also keep stuff in the seats back here that we are going to need in our vehicle at all times, whether it be trash bags, Kleenex, napkins, and you could utilize that space for some additional space for things you need. One of my main concerns when I first started driving the car was the trunk space. Would it have enough trunk space? I'm used to an in an SUV, a huge trunk space. And so the first thing I did check out was the trunk space, and you can open it from inside from holding the button, or you can press and hold the button on your key fob. Opens right up. I do think it had great trunk space. You can see I carry my bag in every vehicle we drive. It goes all the way back here. So it does have a pretty good bit of space. I think it'll even go further there. It does have a pretty good bit of space. Usually when I pack for a trip, I pack like we're moving. So I would have to go a little bit lighter, but as far as a Costco run, grocery store, shopping, this has plenty of space. So it has a lot of room for those things. Travel, you may have to cut back a little bit, but good amount of storage. And then underneath here is where you have your spare tire and your jack, and this just folds flat right on top of that. Overall, we have loved driving the Toyota Camry. It has been easy to drive. My kids have liked it. We've gone as a family of 4 in this several times and fit great. I wish I would have brought my travel ball stuff. I do think all of our travel ball stuff would easily fit in this trunk, plus the gas mileage to and from would have been outstanding.